dedicated to each and every one of you who appreciate a great glass of wine. You know what I mean?
It's Monday. Let's raise a glass to the beginning of another week. It's time to unscrew, uncork, or saber a bottle. And let's begin exploring the wine glass. One of my favorite podcasts to listen to is Your Stupid Opinions, hosted by two comedians, James Pietragallo and Jimmie Whisman. The premise is that there are some pretty hysterical reviews out there, and as I listen to the podcast, I really do laugh out loud. I thought that it might be interesting to see what people have to say about wineries. I figured it could be a series. If you guys all think it's funny, we will continue it every so often. And I would do different regions. I'm also looking for a co-host for this series, as I think it would be funnier to hear the response of another wine lover to these reviews. Today's region is Napa. I hope you enjoy it. While you're listening, it would be greatly appreciated if you could take 1 minute to subscribe, rate, and review. It takes only a few seconds of your time, but means so much to the show. Also, please be sure to check the box for automatic downloads so that the new episodes of Exploring the Wine Glass show up in your next up feed. The next best way to support Exploring the Wine Glass is to tell your friends. If you enjoy the podcast, your wine-loving friends will too. Follow me on all the socials, and finally, don't forget to head to the website exploringthewineglass.com to read the blog, sign up for the newsletter, and keep up with all happenings. Sláinte! Hey everybody, I'm Lori Budd, a UC Davis winemaking program, Spanish wine scholar, sommelier service, champagne and Côte d'Aron specialist, and a WSET Level 2 graduate. You can find Exploring the Wine Glass on all the socials, as well as your favorite podcast catchers. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time to swipe, subscribe, rate, and review. Stay in the know about all things wine by visiting my website, exploringthewineglass.com. I promise I'll never tell you what to drink, but I'll always share what's in my glass. All right, so we're going to start off with a rather well-known winery, Trefethen Family Vineyards, located at 1160 Oak Knoll Avenue in Napa. There are 253 reviews with an average of 4.7. So sounds pretty good. This is what Trefethen has to say about themselves. One of Napa Valley's pioneering wineries, we have long championed estate-grown wines that expresses the unique spirit of our land, vines, and people. Now in our third generation, the dedication of our family is manifest in every aspect of our operation, from the soil to the table, including sustainable farming, thoughtful winemaking, and gracious hospitality. So they are priding themselves on hospitality and thoughtful winemaking. Let's see what the people had to complain about. First up, Tony Gwen had a very poor experience there, legacy collection tasting. There, by the way, is THERE. The tasting of the wine was decent. Their service, again, THERE, at least he's consistent, their service and hospitality could use some work. The location of the tasting was nice and mostly private. I don't know what exactly mostly private means, but had an last-minute party of 2 added to the group tasting. The other party seemed to know the chef that worked there. Overall, experience felt that my group was third wheel of this tasting. Very poor first impression, since I was very excited about the tasting and paid for all the extra. Okay, so I'm thinking that 2 additional people showed up to their private. That's why they're talking mostly private. That there were 2 other people, and obviously the 2 other people were treated much better than Tony and his gang, even though he paid for all of the extra. Okay, Kathy Faciolo. This was our first winery visit of our short Napa vacation, and the woman in the tasting room barely acknowledged us when we arrived. She was unhelpful in explaining their tasting process, and we end up leaving without our tasting the wines. So my guess is Kathy couldn't understand the options that were available to them while they were trying to be explained to them and just foo-fooed it and went away. Louis de Leon, make reservations? What? Drove 2 hours and didn't even taste a single glass of wine. Kids under 12 are also unwelcome. Hostess personality style? What? We weren't even able to see the wine barrels through the glass. So, was the glass dirty and they couldn't see the wine barrels? Are the wine barrels in a different location? Do they just think wine barrels are spewed all over the winery? Kids under 12 also unwelcome? Well, you know what? That's a big debate. Do children belong at wine tastings? That's a whole other debate. Maybe that's a good wine writers get together concept. And then, I'm sorry, if you're going to be driving 2 hours to go to a specific location, I think that you might want to make a reservation, right? I don't know. All right, last one for Trefethen. James Schumacher came in as a larger group and was told there was a group rate, which was almost double the cost. When we told them that we would be happy to split into 2 groups, we were told this wasn't possible since they didn't have the room. But they could fit us as a group? Well, you know what? They lost 11 people's worth of business. Seems silly. Again, if you're going to be going in with a large group of people, you might want to make sure they're aware that you're coming. You want to make sure if they're going to have room for you. And although he's talking about being able to be split into 2 groups, you're still one group. And you're being ridiculous if that's it. You're just being ridiculous. I'm sorry. Hey everybody, I want to introduce you to the Wine Tasting Club card. This club entitles members to receive half off wine tasting flights at 100 plus partner wineries, vineyards, and tasting rooms for an entire year. Choose from the VIP e-card plastic wallet that is embossed with your or your gift recipient's name, or you can choose to download a VIP e-card mobile app to your phone. This month's special price is only $29 for a 1-year membership. Take time to order the Wine Tasting Club cards online today and save $5 with promo code WINE5. That's WINE, the number 5. Visit their website, www.winetastingclubcard.com, to order your card today. Okay, next up, Robert Mondavi, located at 7801 St. Helena Highway in Oakville. 167 reviews, 4.3 average. I mean, that's pretty bad for Robert Mondavi. That seems to be a pretty straightforward, well-known winery. So to have 4.3 rating, not so great. But I also would have thought there would be a lot more than 167 reviews considering how long they've been around. So let's see what Robert Mondavi has to say about their state. Robert Mondavi established his namesake winery in 1966 with a vision to create Napa Valley wines that would stand in the company of the world's finest. He chose Tokelon Vineyard in the heart of Napa Valley as the home for Robert Mondavi Vineyard. The First Growth Vineyard, located in Oakville, California, is renowned for producing some of the finest Cabernet Sauvignon wines in the world, as well as for its Sauvignon Blanc grapes, from which Mr. Mondavi crafted his signature wine, Fumé Blanc. Now, that in its own right is a whole other story. The whole concept of Fumé Blanc is a marketing scheme, and he was brilliant for doing that. And we've talked about that in some of the blog posts over on Exploring the Wine Glass website. But just the concept of Fumé Blanc, very intriguing as to how brilliant he was to come up with that name. So let's see what people can have bad about Robert Mondavi. Claire Morache. My experience here was terrible. The hostess was incredibly rude. My husband and family were enjoying their tasting, and when I went to join them, I was told I needed to pay, even though I am pregnant and wouldn't be participating. I wasn't even offered water, nor was I given a place to sit. Okay, I pretty much think that Claire's got something to grieve about here. Pregnant person comes into a tasting room, pretty much you're going to offer them a place to sit. So I think she's got some gripes there. All right, Steve Chow. Since we were driving, we were unable to complete a wine tasting. Still, we wanted to spend a good amount of time in the gift shop, just to be told by the staff that we could not even use the restroom after purchasing items, even though it was empty. The staff were uncourteous and rude about telling us we could not even use the bathrooms, even after spending a few $100s in the store. I would expect better service. I believe they break county and state laws. So Steve here is going to start calling the police that they weren't allowed to use the restrooms. Now, I do kind of think that there are some places that are customers only, and if he did spend a couple of $100s in the gift store, then I'm guessing he's a customer, but what exactly is he spending it on? I don't know. If he didn't want wine, I'm a little confused as to why you're going to go to a winery just to go to the gift shop, but I don't know. Steve might just like going to gift shops versus, I don't know, like tasting wine and purchasing wine. All right. Al Lim stopped to look at the wine shop. Another one with the wine shop. I don't get it. You're going to this amazing winery that has so much history, and you're just going to go to the wine shop? I'm sorry, I am not driving anywhere near Napa if I'm not going to taste wine. I mean, the road is just insane. You only go through there if you really have to and if you're looking to purchase wine. And I don't understand the concept of wanting to go to a gift shop of a winery if you're not into wine. But anyway, Al here stopped to look at the wine shop and was told the restrooms were off limits. Quite rude and absurd. So I'm thinking Al just needed the bathroom. And he walked in and they were like, nah, you got to buy something first. But then maybe he was in with Steve and thought he could just, if Steve spent hundreds of dollars, maybe he could just wing the bathroom there. But I guess it is just the thing to do at Mondavi. Forget the wine and check out the bathrooms. Next, we move to 4130 Howard Lane in Napa, known as Ashes and Diamonds. This winery has 229 reviews, again with a 4.3 average. This is what Ashes and Diamonds has to say about themselves. Ashes and Diamonds Winery is a love letter to Napa Valley. I'm going to guess not, since we have several one-star reviews, as it was when it took the world stage in the 1960s, revealing itself along with Santa Cruz as a geological wonderland capable of world-class wines. Located at the gateway of Napa Valley along its main artery, Highway 29, Ashes and Diamonds Winery's mid-century approach extends to its architecture as a homage to iconic zigzag roof and portholes are a few of the iconic references to the heritage of California mid-century modern design, seamlessly integrated with a state-of-the-art wine production facility surrounded by light, airy landscapes and playful rolling berms. Ashes and Diamonds Winery is the ultimate convergence of modern and old-school flavors, committed to offering a wide-ranging group of wines that adhere to an ethos of light-handed winemaking and transparency of terroir. I'm just going to go, that sounds AI generated. I don't know Ashes and Diamonds. I have not had it. I do get the impression it is a high-end winery, but that sounds AI generated to me. All right, first up, Val Dieter. Our host was Gigi. And man, she made things so uncomfortable that we still make jokes about it till this day. When she came, she did her introduction and then asked what types of wines we'd like to taste. I had mentioned my favorite picks, Skin Contact wine and Bougie Cerdon. Then she looked at me and said, "Are you trying to show off to your friends? Nice try." in a very unnecessary snarky tone. Weird, but whatever. Let's move past it. She comes back, and the first thing she says directly to me, since you know such much about wines, I think he means so much about wines, could you explain to everyone how skin contact wine is made? Without breaking eye contact, along with a smile filled with contempt. Thank God I knew the process. She seemed disappointed that I did, showing no hint of excitement for knowing. Wow. I don't even really have anything to say about that, but I kind of feel a little bit for Gigi. I mean, if somebody comes in and says something like that, they are kind of sounding a little prestigious. I think what Gigi was asking is, do you like Chardonnays? Do you like Pinots? But he went off. But yeah, he was very disappointed that Gigi wasn't impressed that he knew what skin contact was. All right. Kevin Wolford. Honestly, 1 star is too high of a rating. This place is an absolute joke. Inattentive and unmindful. During our tasting, they literally poured the second bottle old wine into the original glass, which still had wine present from the first bottle. We left our tasting immediately after this happened. Wow. Maybe just ask if you could have a second glass. Or maybe before she pours it in, just say, oh, I still have a little wine in there. But hey, you left after 2 wines. I don't know what to tell you. Robert Henry is next. $75 for a tasting? Really? We were also served some wine that I was going to buy, but the server said it's only for wine club members. So why did you serve this to us? ? All capital letters. They enforced my belief that Napa is for stupid tourists. Go to a different wine region. Okay. I don't really know what to say to this. I do understand what Robert is saying. If you're going to serve me a bottle, then I should be able to buy it. But hey, Robert, maybe your host was pouring it for you to let you know what you could get if you joined their wonderful club. Jamie B has a lot to say. We're from Florida and staying in San Fran for my 40th. We took a drive to Napa, N-A-P-P-A, this afternoon. I thought we have snotty people in Florida, LOL. However, our short experience in Napa, again with 2 Ps, has proved me wrong. We found this winery online as one that was open until 7 p.m. We finally arrived at 6:20 p.m. after getting lost several times. LOL. I guess that's Ashes and Diamonds' fault that you got lost several times. Upon our arrival, a male bartender. Okay, bartender, I don't know is the right term, but again, never been to Ashes and Diamonds, so maybe they are called bartenders, but find it a little difficult. Male bartender came outside and approached my husband, walking up, asking him if he could help him with anything. My husband expressed to him that we were there to experience the winery or at least have a glass of wine. The bartender's rebuttal was that they were closed, yet there was a party of about 4 women in there drinking wine. The bartender was quite rude to my husband and with his tone and didn't offer any kind of apology for the hours on the website being incorrect, let alone offer any suggestions as to where we should go, as clearly we are tourists. Absolutely unacceptable. Okay, Jamie, first of all, I don't think it's the bartender's job to tell you where else to go. So as tourists, and he may not even know you're a tourist, or honestly probably wouldn't care that you're a tourist. But the 6:20 versus 7, maybe they shut down early so that they can close at 7 p.m. So in the future, maybe just check out to see last serving, okay? Sometimes they do a last call so that the employees can actually get out at a decent hour. Because if you go in at 6:58, then they're not really leaving to potentially 8 o'clock or beyond that. Next up, Kimberly Aita. If I could give 0 stars, I would. Can I just say how rude everyone was? Do not go to this place if you're over a group of 8. They do not accommodate and were very unpleasant when we even asked to split up into two groups. Definitely not worth the time or the money. Okay, first of all, you didn't spend any money because they didn't serve you. Second of all, people need to understand 8 people coming in, you need to let the winery know that you're coming. There's just 8 people is a lot of people to serve. All right. We're going to end Ashes and Diamonds with the best review ever. It is Christopher Basabi, and he definitely does the mic drop after this. Only came because it sounded like a club, a strip club. Highly disappointed when I walked up. Bam! And now, a word from our sponsor. Dracaena Wines loves to give back. There are so many fur babies that deserve to find their forever home. We would love to be able to help as many as possible. If you are part of a nonprofit organization or know of a nonprofit organization that would like to hold a fundraiser, please contact us at contact@dracaenawines.com or visit our website, dracaenawines.com, to fill out the form. How does the fundraiser work? It is super simple and costs your group absolutely nothing. Together, we will choose a month that your group will be sponsored. During the month, you promote the fundraiser just like any other event you'd hold. At the end of the month, we will donate 20% of the sales to your organization. The donations will be made in the name of each individual who purchased the wine so that you know exactly who helped the animals. Our goal is to raise as much funds as we possibly can and to help as many animals as possible. So please help us help as many fur babies as we possibly can. We went from not so gracious hospitality to refusing to be given a seat, even if we are pregnant, to being upset that we are not at a strip club. We now go to a winery that caused a person to make the only review they have ever made in their lives, and another mic drop. Blackbird Vineyards, 831 Latour Court, Suite B1, Napa. 4.3 stars, 36 reviews. Their description of themselves has definitely gone down the rabbit hole of being a bird. Okay, just definitely, they're like, we're going down this rabbit hole and we are just going deep. Here we go. We handcraft unfussy wines that inspire you to reach new heights. We don't conform to the usual and instead prefer to fly our own path. Discover our acclaimed Merlots, red blends, rosé, and whites. Under the guidance of acclaimed winemaker of the year, Aaron Pott, we craft Bordeaux-inspired wine with incredible Napa Valley grapes. We prefer to be uncaged. Instead of relying on a single vineyard, we spread our wings and source grapes from all over Napa Valley. We've garnered a cult following over the past 20 years and invite you to join our flock. So let's see why these people will not be joining the flock. Alex Wagoner. Only review he's ever made. Me and my family would have been better making homemade wine as we got so sick from their inability to make a good product. All right. That is worthy of going online and making your only review. I can honestly say I've never had a wine that was so bad that I ultimately got sick from it, other than drinking too much of it, maybe, but just tasting it is probably not going to make you sick. But hey, maybe it triggered Alex to now start making homemade wine. Evan Shanbrum, awful wine by an awful human being. The owner just pleaded guilty to trafficking endangered animal parts. Support this business if you like terrible wine and terrible people using their wealth. This is the type of business that will either give you great, pleasant experience or a horrible one. Okay, I don't really get. He's going in one direction that it's going to be a horrible one. But hey, you can also get a great, pleasant experience. depending on how you look. They are snobby and were condescending to me. Again, your experience may very well be wonderful, so make of this information what you will. Well, I'm just going to say that this is Evan Shanbrom's review. He is saying that the winemaker pleaded guilty to trafficking endangered animal parts. I kind of did a quick little Google search and didn't find anything, but just want everybody to know that that is Evan's words. I am not saying that that is true. And last, we have Jay, who just very simply puts, place sucks. I love it. Nothing else to say. Place sucks. That's all you need to know. Now that we learned, depending on how you look, you may be treated differently, and we got violently ill because of the wine, we may need to race ourselves to the nearest hospital. So why not go to a winery owned by a famous race car driver? Andretti Winery, located at 1031 McKinstry Street in Napa. Winery has 4.4 stars with 194 reviews. The Villa Andretti wines reflect Mario Andretti's Italian roots and are made from small vineyards hand-picked from Napa, Sonoma, and California's best fruit sources. Riesling, Moscato, Barbera, and Dolcetto fill the lineup and are crafted with outstanding quality and high-value wine in mind. Well, I've got 4 people who don't agree that it is high-value wine and outstanding quality. First up, we have Chandler Burke. We came here as part of the wine trolley, and it was the absolute worst stop we visited on our whole 4-day wine tasting adventure. Yes, the facilities are beautiful, and there's a nice outdoor area. As if this is hard to find in Napa? Question mark, question mark? We were then given a plastic cup and given the smallest pour of any of the vineyards we've gone to. Again, whatever. The point is to taste, not to get drunk, but somehow the whole experience just felt cheap. At least make us believe the wine tastes better than it is out of a nice glass. Would never return to this vineyard, felt like a ripoff, and we were just funding Andretti's children's Formula One goals. 2 thumbs down. I'm pretty confident Andretti can handle his own children's funds, but hey, the worst experience of 4 days, that's not too bad if you think about it. One bad winery, if you've been there 4 days, pretty good. All right, Lauren Albom sold expired cheese to us and ruined an afternoon in Napa with bad service. Sad. Okay, if you notice it was expired, why would you just not turn it back and say, hey, this is expired? I don't know. SW. They don't grown, GROWN, their own grapes. Okay. SW, I got to tell you, the majority of wineries don't grow their own grapes. In fact, if you read Villa Andretti's thing about themselves, they actually state that they source their fruit. So don't be so high and mighty if wineries don't grow their own fruit. Keep in mind, it is actually a minority that have estate fruits. And finally, we have Christy Houta. What a disappointment. $40 for a tasting. They hand you a small plastic cup and tell you to go to the counter, have them pour your first taste, then go outside. Then you have to come back in when you want to try something else. Just seemed like they wanted our money, and that was it. As a bonus, there were other guests who decided they should pee in the vineyard. So yeah, that was special. Hey, wine in a show. What are you going to do? You got to love it. All right, my friends. I hope that you had fun with these reviews. I laughed out loud when I was preparing it. Really am looking for somebody to feed these reviews off with. It's kind of, I think it's better if we have 2 people so we can talk with each other. So if you know a wine lover that is into a little bit of comedy and might be interested in doing this, hit me up in an email or a comment on social media. Just let me know. And until next time, have a wonderful week. Slancha. This has been another episode of Exploring the Wine Glass. Thanks for listening. If you have suggestions on what topics you would like me to discuss, please reach out on social media. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as Exploring the Wine Glass. I am also on LinkedIn as Lori Hoyt-Budd. Of course, you can always email me at exploringthewineglass@gmail.com and sign up for my newsletter at exploringthewineglass.com. If you enjoyed what you heard, please rate, review, and subscribe to help others find me more easily. And most importantly, tell your wine-loving friends, because if you like the podcast, they will too. Podcast music is Wine by Kevins. Until next week, sláinte.
Very special, you are so special, you even in the Bible. Give me the red wine, give me the white wine, give me the sweet wine, give me the wine, give me the wine. No, 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 oh, no, 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 never let you go, oh, oh. No, 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 never let you go, oh, oh. No, 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 I want a nice glass right now. There is always time for a good glass of wine. No, 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 oh, no, 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 never let you go, oh, oh. No, 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 never let you go, oh, oh. I want a nice glass right now.